Welcome.
Thank you.
Good afternoon.
Thank you, Chairman Wellman and committee. My name is John Barclay, and my daughter's name is River Barclay. At 4 years old, she had her first seizure St. Patrick's Day night, 2014, and her life was changed from then. She was diagnosed at first with intractable epilepsy, which means that she's not susceptible to normal pharmaceutical medications. My mom's a nurse, that's where I turned medication, and those failed her and actually acted drastically upon her body and did harm before we turned to this. And it does work. It works phenomenally well for her. And Representative Blake did describe the situation that we occur. We have to take her off campus, and it's difficult to get her back on. And she's a little girl. She wants to go watch My Pretty Ponies, you know. Right now, currently, the law is written that schools can permit any form of marijuana on campus. They have the choice to do so. This narrows the bill that is only in concentrate form. It's only in a liquid form. It's not inhalable through smoke or vape or whatever, so there's no contamination to other students. It affords myself a private area, say the nurses' station. But most importantly, speaking of the federal government, the Section 4 was written in last year for OSPE's concern to federal funding, but at that time there were 5 states that had this bill in law, and now currently I think there's 7, and 2 states adjudicated students to have the cannabis on marijuana on campus. This follows New Jersey's law. This was written right after that, or based on that law. And so it follows in line. It's not ahead of the pack. And coincidentally, this summer, Colorado passed law stating that nurses could dispense it, trailblazing that for whatever purpose they have. So we're not standing outside of a pack. We're not trying to trailblaze. We're just trying to follow what is already working in other states and affords children the ability to stay on campus. And speaking of that, there last year was 57 students. Yeah. I believe there's more. That's 2 classrooms full. Might not be a lot, but to a parent like myself, having River being able and afforded occupational therapy, speech therapy, all these specialized tools that they can also help me work with her after hours, makes her more independent as an adult, you know, and other parents independent as an adult. And that's where the return comes in, and that's where the investment towards their futures come in. And again, it doesn't impose on any other students, because you know, if the federal government does have issues, we can back out of it. So thank you very much, and I do ask to do pass through the committee, and thank you.
Well, thank you very much on behalf of River and all those other children who really will benefit so much. Are there any other questions? Yes, Senator Padden.
So your daughter, when she receives the medication at school, how does it impact her?
The CBD medications through parent is actually gotten more advanced through time. I personally need to make sure she's being dosed like doctors would, the same amount, milligrams per weight each day. As the doctor would say, hers is 260 milligrams a day. That's like saying take 2 aspirins, call me in the morning from a doctor. I would go on campus, put it on a Toll House chocolate chip cookie, Pepperidge Farm chocolate chip cookie. She gets a snack at lunch and goes back to school. It also could go inside of a Boost shake that she takes, and she just consumes it. It also gets her additional calories that she is requiring at lunch, and just goes back to class. Currently, it's done at home. It's just because of her age, and she's already done for the day. So I'd like to be able to have an uninterrupted day, and other parents would like that too. Send her back to class with a kiss.
Senator Hawley, you have a question?
Well, thank you, Madam Chair. It's a question for the panel, and I don't know if this is just kind of a side note, Do you know, is it the THC or is it the CBD that's the active ingredient that would impact her?
The concentrates that we're talking about has less than 3% THC content. It's 260 milligrams of CBD only, and there's other things in there that because it's a plant material, but it's not. There's no high effect. There's no psychoactive effect of it. I mean, she could drink a gallon if it was possible and not get high.
And I'm curious because there's in the actual script in the formulary as it exists now for about 20 some years, there's been Marinol, which is synthetic THC that's out there. That has anybody discussed this with you at all?
There is actually an FDA approved Epidiolex, but that's only prescribed right now for diagnosable conditions like Lennox-Gastaut syndrome, Dravet syndrome, and those are very difficult seizure disorders to contain. River was on the second trial queue for that, but was removed by Mary Bridge because of complications.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Really do appreciate it.
Thank you.
You're welcome. We are going to go to House Bill 1120, and if we could have Ben give us a briefing on that.
Thank you, Madam Chair, members of the committee. Before you, or Ben Omdahl, staff of the committee, before you is House Bill 1120, an act relating to updating the term essential academic learning requirements to state learning standards to reflect current terminology. Essential academic learning requirements are also known as ELERs, and these are identified knowledge and skills in which all public school students need to be proficient. And they are based upon the student learning goals in basic education as defined by the legislature. OSPI is required to periodically revise ELERs to match guidelines under state law and to identify grade level content expectations for state assessment and accountability purposes. Before developing or revising ELERs, the superintendent is required to notify the SBE, the State Board of Education, and provide reasoning. This bill is a companion to a bill, Senate Bill 5068, which we heard in committee. Under this bill, the term essential academic learning requirements is replaced with the term state learning standards in state law. In addition, definitions relating to ELERs that are no longer used are repealed. There is a fiscal note available with an estimate of no fiscal impact. And with that, I'm happy to answer any questions.
Any questions for staff? No, thank you. Marissa Rathbone? Thank you. I ask for you just to take a minute or so because we have a lot of, we were late.
Absolutely.
And I do apologize.
It won't be long. Thank you, Madam Chair, members of the committee. My name is Marissa Rathbone. I'm the Director of Operations in the Learning and Teaching Division at the Office of Superintendent of Public Instruction. We are responsible for supporting the development and implementation of learning standards. We call them learning standards now. The term essential academic learning standards have become sort of obsolete in the minds and practices of school districts and our office. So this is just a matter of aligning our terminology so that it works in the field.
Thank you. And since you're right there,
sure.
I'm going to ask you if you will speak to, we've already heard the modifying education reporting requirements, and if you would speak to that as well.
Absolutely. This is another agency request bill that essentially just cleans up dates so that it aligns with school district calendars, reporting requirements, both for our agency, the federal government, and school districts. So it really doesn't change anything substantive, just for dates so that it makes more sense for school districts to implement.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Appreciate that. And then we're on Substitute House Bill 1210, non-residential military families. I'm going to call up Ted Wykorek and Shane Inman. Thank you so much, gentlemen. Welcome. And we have heard a bill very similar, so if you just take a minute, appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay. Madam Chair, for the record, my name is Ted Wizarek. And it's one of those weird Eastern European names. Nobody ever gets.
I've got one too. It's okay.
And I represent the Veterans Legislative Coalition. This is a bill that we wholeheartedly support. We hope you will too. Thank you.
I appreciate that. Thank you, sir.
For the record, my name is Shane Inman. I'm also a part of the Veterans Legislative Coalition. And along with that, I strongly support this bill. Being 29 years in the Marine Corps, I've been a lot of different places, knowing a lot of people. This bill is really going to help those soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marines that are changing duty stations every 3 years and their family to get set. It's a big process when you move into a place, you're finding a place to live, you're getting checked into the area that you're in. You don't need one extra headache that's setting your kids for school if you can do it prior to. Thank you for your time.
I thank you. Thank you so much, gentlemen. Appreciate that. And with that, we are going to go into executive session. We have a range of gubernatorial appointments, as well as 3 bills that we're going to hear. So let's have just a quick description of those bills. Ben, I think you are, and Alex. You're on 2 of them, and Alex is on 1 of them. So just, we'll bring those bills before us, and if you'll just please describe the bill that we've heard.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Well, one of the bills before you is a second substitute House Bill 1304. This bill establishes a vocational alternative learning experience pilot program with participating schools eligible for CTE funding enhancements. Also requires that CTE curriculum frameworks approved by OSPI include ALE courses and multi-district online programs, and that OSPI develop a list of these courses by the 2020-21 school year. And there are currently no amendments.
Thank you very much. Ben, what about 1424?
So second substitute House Bill 1424 requires school districts to provide high school students with the opportunity to access at least 1 CTE course that is considered a statewide equivalency course. These courses must be offered for credit beginning September 1st, 2021, and that OSPI may establish waivers from these requirements. There is an amendment on gold colored paper. This amendment removes the section that changes the authority for establishing waivers from the State Board of Education under current law to OSPI. Yes, so in section 2 of the bill, there's a provision that switches the authority of establishing waivers from these requirements. Currently in law, it's the State Board of Education. Under the bill, it would switch to OSPI. The amendment removes that section, which would retain authority for the SBE to make criteria for these waivers. It removes all of section 2? Yes, which is just the one, it's just, I believe, one small section. It just has the that language in it.
Now, my understanding is that change reduces the fiscal note on this significantly. Did you?
I'd have to double check on it.
Okay.
I can look that up for you.
Okay, thank you. And then Alex?
Speaking to House Bill 1803, this bill increases the number of waivers that OSPI may grant to small school districts to reduce the minimum number of school days required in a year. Under the underlying bill increases it from 5 waivers to 15. There is an amendment on white paper that was recently handed out, and that is being handed out. and that changes the increase from 15 to increase to 7.
Okay, that was, I think, some of the discussion. And who presented that? Well, we'll find out in a second.
Senator Millett.
Okay. So a little more cautious in going from 5 to 15. Just go a little bit. Okay. So would you like to break for a caucus? Oh, yeah. Okay.
There is another bill, I believe, 2108.
Which one?
Substitute House Bill 2108.
Oh, I'm sorry, I cut it off before there was, yes, Senate House Bill 2108. Alex, please, yes.
This bill delays the requirement that school districts meet a K-3 class size ratio of 17:1 to be funded at that ratio until the 2020-21 delays it, and there are no amendments.
Okay, good, thank you. So the 4 bills and then the set of gubernatorial appointments. Yes? Oh, go ahead.
I just have a question about the fiscal impact potentially of the 2108. Can you discuss that briefly? I know it came up a little bit during testimony. I just want to make sure we understood.
Certainly. So the state estimates a savings for classes that are estimated to not meet the 17-to-1 ratio would not be funded at that ratio. So the estimated savings that the state would forego for that extra year is $51 million.
Okay, so maybe another way of looking at that is this bill has a cost impact of $51 million? Is that right? This bill would have a savings of that amount? I think it would have a
The
cost
state
impact.
would expend 51 million additional dollars by continuing to fund at the 17-to-1 ratio, even for classes that do not meet that ratio for one extra year.
Right, so the state would not realize the savings that they were anticipating.
Yes.
Right, that we were anticipating. Okay.
Okay. All right, then we will go to caucus and return a few minutes to go into exec. Thank you very much. Okay. All right, now we'll return and begin our exec of these bills. So may we have the gubernatorial appointments before us? I'll just read the numbers. Okay.
I move that the following gubernatorial appointments be appointed with the recommendation that they be confirmed. Should I read them all?
Just the numbers. all the way
Okay,
down.
so Senate gubernatorial appointment 9163, 9262, 9277, 9074, 9087, 9276, 9278, 9281, 9203, 9145, 9239, and 9249.
No, the last one was 9247.
9247, I am so sorry.
There's been a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Yes, Senator Patton. I'm sorry. It's not on this list. Is there?
9262 is the second.
Oh, it is? Okay. All right, well, and includes 9262.
Just, just a question. I know we had some of the folks from the School for the Blind. How many of these have appeared before the
ones that-
committee?
I believe the ones that you're looking at, every one of them appeared before.
Everyone
Is that
has
correct?
been before the committee in person? Okay, all right.
Yes, that is correct. We did
Or
remote,
remotely,
yes.
yeah.
No, I know that was important to you.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you.
Okay. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. The appointments have received a confirmation recommendation subject to signatures. Okay. Yep, they'll be coming around. The committee will now consider second substitute House Bill 1304. Staff has described the bill, and may we have the bill before us.
I move that second substitute House Bill 1304 be given a due pass recommendation and referred to the Ways and Means Committee.
There's been a motion and a second. Is there discussion? Hearing none. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Second substitute House Bill 1304 has received a due pass recommendation, is sent to Ways and Means, subject to signatures. The committee will now consider second substitute House Bill 1424. Staff has described the bill. May we have second substitute House Bill 1424 before us?
I move second substitute House Bill 1424.
It has been moved and seconded. Are there any amendments?
Yes, there's an amendment on gold color paper.
That has been described.
I move the amendment on the gold colored paper be adopted.
It has been moved and seconded that the amendment be adopted. Is there any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. The amendment passes, is adopted.
I move that the amendment be incorporated into a striking amendment and that second substitute House Bill 1424 as amended be given a due pass recommendation and referred to the Ways and Means Committee.
There's been a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, nay. Second substitute House Bill 1424 as amendment has received a due pass recommendation and sent to Ways and Means, subject to signatures. The committee will now consider House Bill 1803. Staff has described the bill. May we have House Bill 1803 before us?
I move House Bill 1803.
It's been moved and seconded. Are there any amendments?
Yes, there's an amendment on white colored paper previously described.
I move that the amendment on white colored paper be adopted.
It has been moved and seconded that the amendment be adopted. Is there any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The amendment passes.
I move that the amendment be incorporated into a striking amendment and that House Bill 1803 as amended be given a due pass recommendation and referred to the Rules Committee.
There's been a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. House Bill 1803 as amended has received a due pass recommendation, is sent to rules subject to signatures. Yes, that was, I believe that was Claire. No, that was Mullet, Senator Mullet. We did it for him. That was changing it to,
No, I didn't support it. That's okay.
okay.
I didn't support that amendment. I don't think we did.
He said no, you can,
I don't support that amendment. Did the amendment pass?
yes.
Is there an opportunity to do a roll call on that amendment, or is that too late? I don't think we have the votes to do it.
To change it to, from 15 to 7?
Yeah,
We do.
5-4?
It's only two schools will be allowed. I mean, we can certainly do it again next year. No, that's okay. That's okay. I don't want you to. Oh, I know. Okay, the committee will now consider substitute House Bill 2108. Staff has described the bill, and this is the K through 3 class size ratio. May we have the bill before us?
I move that substitute House Bill 2108 be given a due pass recommendation and referred to the Ways and Means Committee.
There's been a motion and a second. Is there a discussion? Hearing none. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Substitute House Bill 2108 has received a due pass recommendation and sent to Ways and Means subject to signatures. And we'll continue signing the boards, but we are through with our exec session. Thank you very much.